Well, hello and welcome to Christmas MuVies Spotlight, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm your host, Dawn Mack, and I am here with my wonderful friend, colleague, and co-host, Pam. Hi, Pam.
Hello, Dawn. Are you honored to still speak with me?
Yes, I was just about to say it is an honor to speak with you and be on the air with you again this week. Always an honor, just to clarify. But how are you? How's your weekend?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Well, you know what? I'm doing great. Now Hallmark Channel has officially kicked off Countdown to Christmas. Miracles of Christmas has started on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. I am so jazzed. Have you been glued to the TV for the last week?
Need you really ask that?
Considering hence the show of what we are. Well, and that's a great lead-in to what we are about. We want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. And if you're brand new to our program, we are so glad to have you here and hope that this won't be your only visit. We'll try not to bore you to death. But if you are new, well, you just never know. You just never know. But if you are new to our show, we want to let you know what we are and what we do. We are a weekly podcast, and we bring to you each and every week all the latest movies and music across all the networks and all the new Christmas music releases that are coming out for that given week. And so we won't bombard you all at once, but we have a lot of fun things that we will do each and every week. And if you joined us last week, if you were a first-time listener last week, congratulations. Thank you for joining us and coming back. We're glad that you made it back with us, and we're glad to have you here. And if you are one of our regular listeners, we are always honored and glad to have you with us as well. Now, coming up on this week's program, we are going to be reviewing 2 Hallmark Channel movies. We've got a Hallmark Movies and Mysteries Christmas movie that we'll be telling you about. UpTV has started airing their Christmas movies, and they've got one original movie that we'll be talking about. We have a theatrical premiere that we'll be sharing with you and a Netflix premiere. All these movies are dropping this week, folks, so it's going to be a lot to pack in over the next little bit of time that we have with you. And but not only that, but we're going to give you a rundown of all the brand new Christmas music that's releasing on November 2nd. And we're bringing to you 2 very exciting interviews, one with Jessy Schram and Teryl Rothery. And if you don't know who they are, oh, my gosh, where have you been? No, they are both starring in it's like, whoa.
I can't even imagine.
I know. If you've ever watched Hallmark Channel, you've seen either or, and now you're going to get to see both of them coming up real soon in Road to Christmas on Hallmark Channel. So we'll be bringing you information about that and those interviews a little bit later in the program. And, of course, we'll be bringing you our fun stuff that we'll do throughout the show, our trivia, our trolling for tweets, our wacky news, and much more. So we are just so excited to get started this week and to have you all here with us. Are you ready to roll, Pam? Are you excited?
I am ready to roll, and I am excited. But I have to put a little thing out there for our listeners. Now, if you follow our Christmas Movie Spotlight page on Facebook, I'd like to hear from some of you about spelling of a word. Dawn always spells premier, P-R-E-M-I-E-R. I always spell it P-R-E-M-I-E-R-E. How do you spell it?
Oh, my God.
I know that's a crazy question, but every time she gives me something with that word on it, I got to fix it and put an E because it doesn't look like it's spelled right to me, and I know you can spell it both ways.
Yes, are we really doing tomato here? Oh, my God.
Yes.
I am just really okay. Well, I guess either way could be correct. Folks, what it really boils down to is what part of the country you live in. I guess if you live in Pam's part of the country, there's an E on the end. If you live in my part of the country, in the deep South, where we take shortcuts like we, at every chance, we leave the E on. So So anyway, I'm just kind of guessing maybe that's what it is. Who knows? But let me tell you, folks, if this is your first time joining us, you will hear all kinds of banter like this throughout the whole holiday season as you tune into our show. Pam and I, we live in two different parts of the country. I'm in the South, she's up north, and we are about as different as night and day. Yet we are always in each other's heads in terms of thinking when it comes to the show, and finish each other's sentences. I guess that's the great hallmark, no pun intended, of a good friendship,
yeah.
a great friendship. But nonetheless, we have a lot of fun, and so banter is very much allowed on this show, and it is going to be a norm. So
right. And though we tease each other to death, and especially me to Dawn, just know that we love each other dearly.
We really do. Well, I have to kind of kick things off this week by oh my gosh, I think Christmas is now officially started. It's in full swing. I mean, even if for no other reason, if you're watching Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, then you know it is in full swing by all counts. And so we want to, first off, I want to just thank all the listeners who were here last week. We had a great kickoff to our first show, and we're so glad to have so many of you back this week. I kind of want to piggyback. If you tuned in last week, then you know we were talking about Christmas trees, and that Amazon now, if you so choose, you can order a Christmas tree from Amazon, and they'll deliver it to your front doorstep. I mean, it's really kind of cool. But I want to know, Pam, have you ordered the Amazon Christmas tree yet?
No, we don't do real trees anymore. We used to do it when the kids were young. Like for a couple years in a row we did it. But then we went to the artificial trees because they're so amazing these days that you seriously can't tell 99% of the time if it's fake or real unless you're right up on it touching it. So it makes it a lot easier, especially when you get older. You don't want to deal with some things sometimes and clean up and whatever. These artificial trees, you can pull them off in 3 pieces and throw them in the bag and put them in the attic and then pull it out next year and do the whole thing over again. So
I know. It's it now, and everything is just so convenient and so easy. I mean, you just pop them together, and when you're done, the most time-consuming thing about it is decorating it, putting the orange. But I have to, if you tuned in last year, then Pam and I had a conversation because up until last year, Pam did not have a full-size tree, let's just put it that way. She had a tabletop tree, and she bought a tree, and I was just so amazed because we are talking about the queen of bah humbug here. I mean, she could be related to Scrooge. I mean, when I first met Pam, it was like, oh boy, here we go. But she's come a long way, folks, by the way. But anyway, she did get a tree last year. I was so proud of her. She sent me pictures of it, so there was proof that yes, she did really buy a tree. And so I just have to ask you. I mean, this will be year number 2 with the new tree. When do you plan to put your tree up?
Well, that picture that I sent you is actually my tabletop tree. I just expanded it and sent it to you. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
I was going to say, well, that was a great Photoshop, folks.
Oh, no. It was a full-size tree.
Oh, my.
But no, I'm unlike Dawn, who probably has her tree up from, July, when you do Christmas in July. I do not put my tree up until usually after Thanksgiving. I mean, we really just don't put it up that early.
Well, just so you know, I do not put my tree up in July, but I do. I do, although I know there are people out there who do, and kudos to you if you do. But I do try to get mine up about the week before Thanksgiving, weekend before. Sometimes, last year it was on Thanksgiving weekend, which was a departure from years previous, where there was so much going on Thanksgiving weekend. I just put up the weekend before just so it would get done. And then it was kind of nice having it up Thanksgiving. But Yeah, so yeah, but I will probably shoot for around the same time this year as well. So there's just so much else going on, you know. If I could get it up earlier, I would.
Mhm.
But one year I tried to do a year-round tree, and I would change out, you know, like whatever seasonal holiday it was. And after about the fourth or fifth month, I was like, I got to get this down. You know, we were running into summer. It was like, no, 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 this has got to go away. So I took it down. But
Well, there you go. Dawn is not 100% tree crazy. She did take it down, and now it's just up for Christmas when it belongs up.
yeah, I didn't need to have an intervention staged or anything like that, although I do love Christmas. And I get to the spirit way before Pam ever thinks about it. So, you know, but yeah, that's kind of a given with the tree. So anyway, well, I'm glad to hear that you're going to have the tree up again this year. I mean, and it's a gorgeous tree, by the way. You did good
Thank
to
you.
have bought a tree. You
Thank you.
really did good. So guys, just know that if you're in a pinch for a live tree, you can always order from Amazon, you know. And
There you
so
go.
anyway, well, um, what I was gonna say, I've lost my train of thought. Can you imagine me being at a loss for words? What in the world?
No, never. Never. Let's give Dawn 1 second to think about that. And
Hi, this is Ruth Hill, and you're listening to Pam and Dawn.
There you go.
go.
That was thank you so much, Ruth. She saved the day. She saved the day. Well, you know, I've got on every show I'm trying to throw in a little bit of trivia this year, Christmas related, of course. And so Pam, I want to ask you, what do you think the first song about Santa Claus was?
the first song?
Yeah, the very first song that Santa Claus.
I can't even imagine. Probably. I really, honestly, can't think of anything. Maybe the one where he's stuck in the chimney. I don't know, where he comes down the chimney.
Well, I have an answer for you, by the way. The first Christmas song to mention Santa Claus was Benjamin Hanby's Up on the Housetop, written in 1864. Hanby was inspired by Clement Moore's 1823 poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. So there you have it, folks. And from there, we got all kinds of songs about Santa Claus, you know. And A Visit from St. Nicholas, I guess, would be AKA translated, you know, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So, and which kind of was a trivia inside a trivia, because that means Clement Moore is the one that wrote that poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas. So, which was later renamed 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So there you have it. There's your Christmas trivia for this week, folks. Did you know that, Pam? Guessing, but I mean, I don't know what
now.
I know, but I probably would have guessed, you know, if you had asked me instead, I would have said, oh, Santa Claus is coming to town. I mean, that was just kind of the first thing that popped in my head when you think about, you know, the first song being written about Santa Claus. So, so now we know.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I'm trying to think of what the name of that song is. It's the words are like, up on the rooftop, click, click, clip, down the chimney. You know, comes old Saint Nick.
Let me read this to you again. The first Christmas song to mention Santa Claus was Benjamin Hanby's Up on the Housetop.
Is that it?
Yeah, Up on the Housetop.
Oh my God! So I had it right, and I didn't even realize it.
The trick is you set up on the rooftop or something, but that was very close. So yeah.
Oh my gosh!
She cheated, folks. She Googled it while I was asking the question.
Oh my gosh! No, I was thinking of the words, and I just couldn't think of the title. That's all. Wow.
About this beforehand. She didn't know what trivia question I was going to throw at her. So, you know, it's, but, well, let me tell you, I don't know if you've noticed, but online, believe it or not, popping up in news feeds about Christmas, there's some wacky news that's kind of been popping up, which I think is kind of odd, you know, for it to be Christmas time. But there is now a candy made from comfort food. And so, Pam, I got to ask you, if comfort food were a candy, what would you think it would be?
Well, you've totally stumped me on that one. I mean, I can't even imagine eating any of my comfort food as a candy. It just doesn't seem right. You know what I mean?
It's kind of short of disgusting too when you think about it. When you think about candy being sweet, comfort food is just comforting. I don't know. Somehow the two just doesn't go together. Well, did you know that mac and cheese flavored candy canes now exist, and people are not having it? I mean, seriously, really?
If you could see my face right now, you'd know my answer to that. I mean, what in the world would give them the idea to do that?
Well, again, the segment is Wacky Christmas News. Let me just say that again. But we all know that peppermint candy canes are a staple during the holiday season. But imagine waking up, I can't imagine, by the way, on Christmas morning only to find macaroni and cheese. This sounds so funny to even say it. Macaroni and cheese flavored candy canes hung from the chimney with care and peeking out of stockings. Kids would toss those stockings out the window. So, no, this isn't a nightmare, though. These orange-tinted, cheese-flavored candy canes are real, and the Internet is not happy about their existence. So a guy by the name of Archie McPhee, he owns a Seattle-based store known for its wild and wacky products, is marketing mac and cheese candy canes for the 2018 holiday season. Described as having instant mac and cheese flavor, the cheesy candy canes come 6 to a box for just $5.95. So, Pam, I got to ask, are you going to run right out and buy these?
No, and anybody that comes to my house with them, I'm keeping the door closed. Thank you.
I know, it's like for real, like what in the world? Who comes up with this stuff? And why would anybody think that mac and cheese flavored candy canes would be a go? I mean, if nothing else, they're a talking point. But to even think about trying to eat them, I would feel like I was cheating on macaroni and cheese for real.
Well, listen, I'm from Chicago, right?
Right.
And Wisconsin is very close to me.
Yeah.
And so we are pretty much like within the cheese capital of the world. And I love cheese. I love cheese on probably 90% of my food. But to put it in a candy cane, no, thank you.
No, I just can't even. There's just nothing else to say about it. I just can't even. Well, moving from one wacky story to another, do you by chance, you and your family, ever have an Advent calendar as part of your Christmas tradition? We've never done it on my end of the world, but I know a lot of people do. Do you do that, you and your family?
We used to do that when the kids were little, and I grew up doing it too.
Yeah, it's something that, in my family, we never had an Advent calendar. So sue me, folks. No, seriously, I never had an Advent calendar, so we never grew up with that. And, and for what reason, I have no idea. But for Advent calendar lovers out there is now going to be, for 2018, speaking of cheese, a cheese Advent calendar, and it's coming to a Target store near you very soon. And to celebrate the upcoming holiday season, Target will be selling, drum roll please, a cheese Advent calendar. And as if that news alone wasn't incredible enough, we're delighted to inform you that it's only going to cost $20. And this gloriously cheesy creation is the brainchild of Anam Hobson, the British blogger behind So Wrong It's Nom. Last year, her cheese Advent calendar went wildly viral, but it was only sold in stores in the UK, much to the chagrin of cheddar addicts on the other side of the pond. Due to the calendar's popularity and a high demand of requests from around the globe, Anam worked with Norseland, a cheese manufacturer in England, to bring it stateside. So I have to ask you, Pam, mac and cheese candy canes or cheese Advent calendars?
Cheese Advent calendars, hands down, as long as they don't put any of the stinky cheese in there.
I know.
But I'm wondering how it's going to stay fresh. I mean, because those Advent calendars are 25 days, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So you got that hanging on your wall with 25 days worth of cheese, and I don't know about that.
Well, Well, cheese ages. They have to age cheese, right? Like I remember Hickory Farms growing up. You could go to the little kiosk or the store in the mall, and they would have the cheese, the cheese logs and the balls and all that stuff sitting around, and it was not refrigerated. So maybe the packaging is going to be similar to that. I don't know, but I'm with you on that. It's like,
yeah, I get my cheese and I put it in the fridge right away. So I'm not so sure, but I would. I would have to see what it looks like, how it's packaged and stuff like that before I say definitely I would get one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, moving from that, I know everyone's either really hungry right now or they've lost their appetite, so we're going to move right along.
Yeah, we're going to get off the cheese train right now, and we're going to give you the new Christmas music releases. Thank you, Dawn. Coming out on November 2nd is Paul Cardell, and his album is called Christmas. Jim Henson with Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Well, that sounds interesting. The Mavericks, Hey Merry Christmas. David Archuleta, Winter is in the Air. Rodney Crowell, Christmas Everywhere. The McGuire Sisters, Season's Greetings from the McGuire Sisters. Lauren Daigle, Behold Deluxe. So I'm assuming that with the Deluxe there must have been one before that, right, Dawn?
Yes, that's correct. And she's got several new songs added to this project. And if you heard the first project out there, then you know it was a great one. And this one will be no exception. It will be, I can't wait. So looking forward. I mean, these are, and Jim Henson, by the way, the Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, that's kind of a offshoot of the Muppets. I don't know if you ever saw any of the Emmett Otter's, different animation like the Muppets that Jim Henson put out, but who knew there was a Jug Band Christmas album coming from Emmett Otter's Jug Band? so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I actually never heard of it.
Uh-huh.
So, I would definitely check that out so that way, possibly that would be something that my G-sons would listen to.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we'll come back, we'll be right back with more.
My family loves a great Hallmark Christmas movie, and there are 2 different channels with holiday movies all season long. For inspiring movie miracles, we turn on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. For festive romantic comedies, we watch Hallmark Channel. Uplifting stories, the miracles of Christmas on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. Holiday romance, Countdown to Christmas on Hallmark Channel. Hallmark, America's #1 Christmas destination.
Ooh, well, that brings us to our next segment. And Hallmark Channel, as I said at the top of the show, Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, they have officially kicked off the Countdown to Christmas, Miracles to Christmas season as of October 26th. And Pam and I are already in the throes of watching the movies. And I tell you, Christmas at Pemberley Manor was the first movie to air on the Hallmark Channel, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. It was wonderful. And so now, coming up over the next week, they're going to start bringing it on with even more movies. And Pam, what's the first movie that they're going to have for us next week?
The first movie on the Hallmark Channel is going to be Christmas Joy, and that'll be on Saturday, November 3rd at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, starring Danielle Panabaker and Matt Long. And the story goes, Joy Holbrook, played by Danielle, is a keenly intelligent market researcher with an eye on her company's top account and garnering a sweet promotion just in time for the holidays. Just as Joy is capturing the attention of the account CEO, she receives a call from her Aunt Ruby's best friend back home in Crystal Falls, North Carolina. Hey, Dawn, I wonder if she lives near you.
Well, who knows? I'll never tell.
Well, Ruby has broken her ankle and needs surgery. Though the timing couldn't be worse, Joy immediately comes to her aunt's bedside, only to be reunited with her former crush, now hospital administrator Ben Andrews, played by Matt Long, son of Ruby's best friend, Shirley. Joy also must navigate Ruby's stubborn determination to be in control of everything, including the town's legendary annual cookie crawl, a walking home tour where owners display holiday decorations and treat each other to Christmas cookies, all while vying to win the prized Golden Wreath Award. To keep Ruby focused on healing, Joy volunteers to take her aunt's place as chair of the cookie crawl, much to the amusement of Ben, who knows Joy has no idea of the Herculean task before her. Though Joy initially refuses Ben's attempts to co-captain, she begins to soften and let him in, all the while remembering that there truly is no place like home for the holidays. And this is based on the best-selling novel by Nancy Nagel. And we're going to give you a little preview of that.
'Tis the season for joy, and with a million reasons to head home for Christmas, only one joy?
Ben?
Long time no see. May keep her from ever leaving.
You again. Full stop. Crystal Falls has a Christmas cookie crawl and a gingerbread contest.
Yep, an all-new original holiday movie premiere.
I've had more fun today than I've had in longer than I can remember.
Christmas Joy, premiering this holiday season, part of Countdown to Christmas on Hallmark Channel.
Ooh, that's going to be so good. And I'm partial because the setting is in North Carolina.
There you go.
And for those of you who are new to our show, I'm based in North Carolina. And also a little trivia fact for you, Nancy Nagel, who wrote Christmas Joy, she is also a North Carolina resident as well. So I have a feeling that's how the setting got placed in North Carolina. But go NC, home of the Tar Heels, or home of the Duke Blue Devils, whichever one you pull for. But nonetheless, this sounds like a really great movie, Pam.
Yeah, and seeing the preview of it, the video, and the preview on Hallmark, I mean, they make such a cute couple, so this is going to be really good.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have an exclusive clip with Daniel Panabaker and Matt Long behind the scenes of Christmas Joy.
Hey guys, I'm Danielle Panabaker.
And I'm Matt Long.
And you're here on the set of our all-new Countdown to Christmas Hallmark movie. Come take a look.
And background, action.
The movie is about a young woman who works in D.C., and she gets a phone call that her aunt has been hurt, so she goes home to take care of her aunt, and when her aunt goes into the rehab center, she's not around to take care of her Christmas cookie crawl. So Joy decides to help her out. When you get home, you won't miss a thing.
Honey, it is so much work.
Oh, don't worry about it. The Christmas Cookie Crawl is a competition where these people participate and they decorate their houses and then they bake Christmas cookies and then it ends up being competition.
And I am her aunt's partner in the Christmas Cookie Crawl, so we end up working together. 20 dozen sugars, 14 dozen thumbprints, 10 dozen shortbread, 4 dozen lemon bars, 40 dozen chocolate chip, regular and chocolate, 30 dozen brownies, with and without nuts.
Oh?
Both. And that's just what we did last year. Tonight is the cookie crawl. This is sort of the culmination of the whole movie. We've been working towards days and days and days of cookie prep and baking. And I think there's 2,000 cookies in this movie. Seriously, isn't there?
I mean,
over 2,000
I didn't do the
is what
math.
we were told.
For a Christmas movie, you need snow.
Yeah.
And we have lots of snow.
Christmas trees.
Christmas cookies.
Christmas decorations.
Hopefully there'll be Christmas carols.
Do we sing?
I don't.
I know I don't, but somebody's
going
to be singing somewhere.
Hallmark really is so passionate about all of their Christmas movies, and they give a lot of care to them, and it's exciting to be a part of.
My mom is so excited. My aunt is so excited. My mother-in-law is so excited, and that's great. We're having so much fun together.
Hopefully that's what people
and that's
will love.
I hope that it comes off on screen, honestly.
Yeah.
Because we're really having a ball, are we?
We are, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the set of our all-new original Christmas movie, Christmas Joy, coming this season on Hallmark Channel.
That makes me just want to watch it all the more. I can't wait. And by the way, I really want to go to a cookie crawl, or whatever it's called, Christmas crawl, cookie crawl, cookie crawl. I think that would be the funnest thing in the world to do during the holiday season.
Yeah, we'd have to do a lot of dieting before then.
Yeah, and when in the clip there on location, they were reeling off, Matt was reeling off all the various cookies and the number amounts of cookies. I will tell you that some years back, I decided one holiday season I was going to make cakes and cookies and the whole 9 yards, and I got an order for like 20 dozen brownies and 20 dozen chocolate chip cookies, homemade, Toll House style. And I was up at 6 a.m. that morning and did not finish till 7 p.m. that night on the brownies and cookies. That was an undertaking. It was an all-day thing, and needless to say, I was beyond exhausted. So when he's reeling off all this stuff, I'm thinking, how in the world? I just don't know. But yeah, that would be incredibly fun. I love to eat cookies, and I love cookies, and Christmas time is just a good time for baking and making all kinds of doing cookie exchanges and things, but a cookie crawl would indeed be a fun thing to do. I'm going to have to see if there are any in North Carolina, by the way.
Well, and I want to mention something before you go on to review the next movie. Mm-hmm. If you go to take2radio.com, that's with the number 2, or if you go to ChristmasMoviesSpotlight.com, either or, we have recipes on there for baking for the holidays. Mm-hmm. So go check those out and try something new, or if you have one that you normally do and you see a different type of recipe, try it. You never know. You might like it.
Yeah, I'm going to try some of those. When we were building all those pages, I was hungry. I was like, I want some of these cookies. I want to try them, But you're right. We got to get on the diet if we're going to eat all those cookies. Well, moving along, the next movie that you will get to see on Sunday, November 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central is Road to Christmas, and it stars Jessy Schram, Chad Michael Murray, and Teryl Rothery. And the plot line goes as follows. Los Angeles television producer Maggie Baker, played by Jessy Schram, unwittingly falls for Danny Wise, who is played by Chad Michael Murray, the son and former producer of his mother's, played by Teryl Rothery, popular annual Christmas special, Julia Wise Lifestyle. When Maggie's secret plan to reunite Danny and his 2 brothers with Julia during the live broadcast in Vermont goes awry, Maggie is reminded that above all, it is the love for family and friends that makes the merriest of Christmas. And I have to tell you, this is probably one of the movies I'm looking forward to the most this holiday season, because the storyline, of course there'll be a happy ending, as all Hallmark movies are famous for. But, man, just seeing the previews and hearing the talk about it, it really, I feel like it's going to be it's going to take you deep into the vessels of your heart, and pull at your heartstrings from places that you didn't realize you had heartstrings, kind of thing. I think it's going to be a great movie.
Even for me?
Even for you.
The ones I didn't know I had.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think we'll all be taken by surprise in that way, based on what we've seen so far. Well, we have an exclusive clip with Jessy Schram and Chad Michael Murray behind the scenes of Road to Christmas.
Go behind the scenes with the cast and crew of Hallmark Channel's all-new original movie, Road to Christmas.
My name is Jessy Schram, and I play Maggie Baker.
My name's Chad Murray. I will be playing Danny.
This is my son, Danny Wise.
Maggie is a producer. She's been handling the responsibilities of Julie Wise's Christmas special.
Her whole goal in taking Julie Wise's show this year is to make it live.
We're doing the whole show live?
And due to fear of changing the format too much, Danny's come back in to bring in the traditional elements.
He's coming in to help her, but really you can't help but feel replaced.
I do not see that we have another choice.
Well, then, this is what we're doing. Then let's make it great. Right off the bat, he wants to do everything recorded. She wants to do everything live.
She's just not always necessarily right.
So right away, they are stuck together and at a bit of a crossroads. A cross-country Christmas. These pre-recorded segments should be about unique, interesting places that are doing cool Christmas things.
Let's look into it. And I think what they find is the mesh of the two of them, both of their ideals come together and make for something beautiful.
You don't give up easily, do you?
Collaboration doesn't need to be scary. Okay, the sooner you choose to trust me, the more you'll find I'm actually kind of fun to work with. True? She also gets this idea of Julia is her beloved boss. She wants to do something really awesome for her, and figures that it would do great for the show to maybe collect all of her sons along the way and bring them to her.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, excuse me. I was wondering if you could help me find...
Derek? Danny. What are you doing here?
I have no idea.
So you're Derek Wise, and they are Julia Wise's adopted sons. Your brothers and I have been on quite the adventure so far.
And action. Should we help me?
I think the heart of this film ultimately is about family. To get your family together.
Here's to the light in each and every one of us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
It isn't just the love story. It's we have a family, and we have a road trip, and we have experiences that we're bringing together for a collective good, and along the way, love happens.
I love it. It's festive.
We make a good team.
Road to Christmas premieres this holiday season on Hallmark Channel.
And there you have it. Oh my gosh, that preview right there, it was pulling at my heartstrings the first time I saw it. And and I know the movie is just going to be it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And with the cast like that, you can't go wrong, for sure.
Exactly. And I absolutely adore Chad Michael Murray. I mean, we've seen him grow up pretty much on screen, and he's just an amazing actor, and needless to say, a great piece of eye candy.
Oh, my God. And, I hope this is the start of something big for him at Hallmark, because I would love to see more of him in Hallmark movies moving forward. He's a perfect fit, and, of course, he's got the look. So he fits that way as well. But, so we're excited. And in a few moments, we're going to bring you an interview. We had the chance to chat with Jessy Schram recently about this movie and her career. And also, coming up a little bit later in our show, we will be bringing you an interview with Teryl Rothery, and so you definitely want to stick around for that. But Pam, I tell you, I had such a blast talking with Jessy when we had that opportunity. She was just such a delight, and was so gracious when we had that chance.
She was so much fun. You could hear the excitement in her voice for her movies coming up, and just talking about her career and all the different things that she did. But let's not give too much away and let them listen to it.
Sure.
So, if you're ready, here is Jessy Schram. Thank you. And thank you again for taking the time to join us today. We know how busy you are, and we appreciate that you're able to call in and speak with us.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited you guys wanted to speak.
Of course. Well, we always like to start out asking who or what inspired you to become an actress, because we always get such interesting answers.
Oh, you know what? I wish I had, such a solid answer for that. But I would say, it goes back to my sister and I used commercials and, do little SNL skits when we were super young on our VHS recorder. And we would always do our own commercials and make our own TV shows. And one day I looked at my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I want to be on the real TV. So I feel like from a young age, I had always been a performer and loved, the excitement of creating and making things. And, my sister always cast me in our backyard plays. But I also had a great-grandpa that I found out later was a silent movie actor. And when I say that, I think he only did, one scene of a silent movie and had a stage name and everything. But whenever I would go visit him, he would always love when I would just sing him songs from the school books. And any time that I had something going on, he was the one that showed me how to make an entrance through the front door. He made acting and performing and pretending to be someone really fun. So I would say my great grandpa, and just that natural inkling to perform.
Well, despite the fact that this is something you've wanted to do, practically your whole life, had you not pursued acting as a career, what would you be doing instead?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I love music. So singing, playing guitar. For a long time, I wanted to be a speech pathologist. So I'd probably go something in like the medical field there, fixing, like if someone had a stroke or something, teaching them how to talk again, or something really in the field of like healthcare or helping.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, super random and at the same time totally close and understandable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make a comment about what you said, that your answer wouldn't probably be as interesting for my first question to you, but actually it is very interesting, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I feel like so many people that I talk to are like, that one play inspired me, or this actor, and I'm like, I feel like it was an accumulation of just what I naturally loved, as well as, making people happy or creating or being someone else, or I don't know. It's more accumulation of things as opposed to that one moment that just hit and said, "Aha, I'm an actor."
Right, and I'm sure that varies from actor to actor. So
totally,
that's not.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I wanted to mention is, most little girls dream to be Cinderella one day, and you actually played Cinderella in Once Upon a Time. Was it one of your dreams growing up, and how did it make you feel to make it come true, for even if just for a while?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I will say, growing up, Cinderella was my movie 100%. I always wanted to be Gus Gus, so I used to joke on set, like, this is amazing, I'm Cinderella, but, like, I never thought I would ever be Cinderella. That was too far of a dream for me, I guess. So I always wanted to be Gus Gus because I loved him so much. So, I would say Cinderella is a dream. I just thought it was never touchable, so I went a little under. And then I did. I got that role, and I would say there was so much pressure that I put on myself at first because there is, it's so many girls' dreams. You see little girls walking around in those blue dresses everywhere, and I know how much it meant to me when I was younger, and Disney, like, it's so classic. But what was neat about Once Upon a Time is they put their own spin on it. So there was that pressure of going, okay, I can't ruin the classical aspect of Cinderella, and at the same time there's this amazing freedom to create more of a human, more of a personality, more of a person. So it was super exciting and super terrifying at the same time.
I can imagine.
Yes. Because it's like reading a storybook, and, if you don't put the cartoon to it, if you read something, everybody has their own imagination, and then you see that on screen,
right.
And if it doesn't match up, you are so disappointed.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But there really is so many versions. Yeah, there really is so many versions of Cinderella that I don't think that you could disappoint anybody by whatever version you chose to do.
And you know what? I didn't really know that there were so many versions until I had gotten to Vancouver, and a couple nights before filming was just kind of trying to gather as much research that I could, and I didn't realize how many versions of there were. Like, so you're right. You really can't go wrong.
Right, exactly. Well, let's switch it over to the dark side, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell us about your experience on the Lizzie Borden Chronicles. It's real, but it's not real, and like, how did that affect you?
Oh, that was an interesting one too. Again, because I did research on the time period to kind of understand it a little bit more. And I always knew that, like nursery rhyme, I just never knew where it came from. So learning about it was super creepy and super fascinating at the same time because media, and there were no female serial killers. Like, it was such a different time period. And then filming it too, what was amazing is we got to film in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So we were all up there living in these corsets. Like, the first day, I think I almost passed out during lunch because it was just too tight and I wasn't used to it. And, like, my character as well was this actress. Like, I got to play this actress, and back in the day, that was considered, like almost a worker for sex. Like, it was not, actresses in that day and age were not looked well upon. So it was just interesting finding out the time period. But then when we were on set, like, we truly were in 1890s pieces. So everything that I at least was wearing was actually from that time period. So the heaviness of the fabric, those massive hats were the only things that were made custom, and just like putting on the clothes of a different time period and then dealing with, I mean, it was a very bloody series. There was nothing like PG about it. So there was so much involved where it wasn't scary doing it, but just kind of finding out about it and then putting yourself in a different period was super fun and really weird at the same time.
Well, you have had many different roles portraying all types of characters. What has been your most challenging role and why?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would say each of them have been challenging for their own ways, because I think as an actress, I put so much pressure on myself because I want it to be as authentic as possible, even if it's a cartoon, like just trying to make it as authentic and real in the world that it is as possible. I would say, you know what? Falling Skies was an interesting one. That was a show for TNT, and it dealt with post-apocalyptic invasions, and I was a motorcycle scout. So I got to, dirt bike ride, and we had to go through training, gun training, all this kind of stuff. And it was the first time I had been given the responsibility of a role where I didn't audition as the character in where they made her go in the story. So I was originally this motorcycle scout that then gets taken hostage and then actually becomes an evil alien overlord. So for me, there was that thing of going, wow, they've given me responsibility because they have notes on how they want it, and then I'm just supposed to show up and hopefully give them what that is. So for me, that was a really neat role because I started studying sociopaths or different, different villains throughout time, or what that was. Or it's really hard when you have a character that you don't believe in what they're doing, or your morals do not meet up with the scenes that are playing, and then you have to figure out a way of going, I can't judge this person. How do I make this a reality in my mind for this character? And I would say, characters like that are really tricky because you can't judge yourself. You can't judge your character, otherwise then you're acting. So for me, the research that went into that and just kind of finding an alien and the voice that was the first challenge that I've had, as an actress in creating a character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been incredibly challenging, no doubt about that. But you pulled it off. So,
thank you.
The research paid off. Now, kind of shifting gears, one of my favorite character portrayals that you did was as Cash Gray in the hit series Nashville.
Oh, my gosh.
And I love that you played singer-songwriter because it was such a treat being able to see you perform on the show. And the song, If You Don't Mean Business, was later released to iTunes. Do you have any plans of releasing more music in the future by chance?
Thank you. I do. It's something where whenever I start, an acting job will come and will usually take me wherever that is. But I'm actually writing right now because of the Hallmark movies and Christmas. I was like, let's write a Christmas song. But I do write frequently, and I really hope to find the right mixture of producers or another songwriter to put something out there. And it's such a personal thing for me, so it's kind of I would love to put music out there, to perform live. That was such a treat on Nashville. And I'm hoping that soon I'll have something out in the world, because I have things from when I was younger, but I'm hoping to have more of a representation of now to go out in the world with, and that will be coming soon. I just don't have a deadline for it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm so happy you brought up Cash Gray, because right after I talked about Falling Skies, I was like, you know what another hard one was Cash Gray.
Yeah, because anyone that had seen you in the Hallmark movies, for example, or in any other roles, and then coming and seeing you play that role where, here you're taking a beloved character, Maddie, and, having such an influence on her, there were fans probably going, what in the world is Cash Gray doing? But nonetheless, it was a great role. You pulled it off.
Thank you. That was a really hard role. I was so excited. I was such a fan and so obsessed with the girls. And that was one where, as your character grows, I was super excited to be a part of it. And just, I mean, I would get on planes and the airline stewardesses would be like, oh, my gosh, I hate you. Like, and then they'd apologize by bringing me an ice cream or something because they realized I wasn't Cash. But, I mean, people were so upset. And that was a character that was tricky to kind of navigate, of going like, I'm not doing anything wrong. You just don't like what I'm doing.
Right.
And people had very different opinions.
Right. Well, speaking of writing, if you could write your own happily ever after Hallmark movie, what would be the storyline and who would be your co-star?
Oh, tricky question. There have been a couple that I've been throwing around the loop and even wanting to bring to Hallmark and say, like let's do a Rockette story, like the dancer that then goes and has to save her town, and basically classic Hallmark stories. But now I realize that they're going on adventures, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't need to stick to a small town. Like, let's go to Bali. Let's do like an Indiana Jones thing. Let's do adventure. So for me, it would be so much fun to do something, like one of the more nature stories that they get to pull off. And then, oh gosh, I don't know. You know what? I had such a great time with all of the different co-stars I've had in the Hallmark movies that I've done. If they picked any one of those guys again, I would be so happy.
Well, speaking of Hallmark,
you definitely can't go wrong.
No, you cannot go wrong.
You can't.
I have had great leading men.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, no complaints there from the viewing audience.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, so speaking of Hallmark, we are excited and anxiously awaiting your upcoming Hallmark Countdown to Christmas movie, Road to Christmas. Can you share a little about the movie without giving too much away?
Yes, I play Maggie Baker, a TV producer for Julia Wise, who's kind of like a Martha Stewart character. And I'm very much about bringing the show to a live perspective and making it exciting. And, of course, along the way, Julia Wise's son comes along, and he wants to stick with more traditional, be a little safe. And so we butt heads on how to produce this massive Christmas show that every year needs to get good ratings. I come up with this idea of collecting Julia Wise's adopted sons along the way as a surprise because her family never gets to stay together. So the whole story is kind of about, new and traditional blending together, and that not one is better, but that both of them together are a very strong team. And then also, too, the movie is so much about being with the ones that you love on holidays. It's really not how you do it. It's who you're spending it with and what you're enjoying.
Well, we can't wait. It's just, it can't get here quick enough. I know it's going to air November 4th.
I'm super excited.
Hurry up. Hallmark's outdone it's their Countdown to Christmas line of movies, so we are anxiously waiting that. Now, before we wrap up, we always like to close with a fun little 5-question lightning round. It's all Christmas related, and there are no wrong answers. So here we go. What's your favorite Christmas tradition?
Popcorn.
Hey.
I have nothing else to say, just popcorn.
Popcorn is perfect. Okay. No wrong answers. Okay, your favorite Christmas song?
Silent Night.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Ooh, A Griswold's Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, A Griswold's Christmas, now that's not a Christmas Vacation, right? That's separate.
Yes, sorry, Christmas Vacation, yes. That's what I was thinking.
Just so you know, let's see, October 8th is Chevy Chase's birthday. So there you go.
Oh, happy birthday, Chevy Chase.
All right, hot toddy or hot chocolate?
Oh, hot chocolate.
Okay. And last but not least.
Ooh, what did you say? You cut out.
White lights or colored?
White lights. 100%.
And that concludes our 5-question lightning round. Thank you so much.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you, guys. This was so much fun talking with you.
Oh, this has been a blast, and we really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. It's been great.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm so glad you guys are watching and excited, and thanks for asking awesome questions.
Oh, sure. Thank you. And we'd love to have you back anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy holidays early to your family and you.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye, you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Jessy Schram. You're listening to Pam and Dawn.
Yes, you are. And we want to say thank you again to Jessy Schram for taking the time to speak with us. We are so looking forward to seeing your Hallmark movie Road to Christmas, and we hope very soon to hear some new music from you.
Undoubtedly.
So moving on to our next movie on Hallmark Channel, we have Marrying Father Christmas, or Merry Father Christmas, which is
it's
Sunday,
actually,
November. Marrying, right?
That's a typo. I apologize.
Yeah, all right, thank you. I was like, wait a minute. I thought I said that right the first time. Okay.
Yeah, you
well,
did.
It happens. What are you going to do?
Live radio, folks.
So Marrying Father Christmas will air on the Hallmark Channel Sunday, November 4th at 9 Eastern. Now you have 9 Eastern, 7 Central. So it must be 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Oh, my gosh, we're so sorry. Oh, gosh. All right, so it stars Aaron Krakow, Niall Matter, and Wendy Malick. When Miranda Chester, played by Aaron, sets off to find information on her biological father 2 Christmases ago, she never imagined her investigation would lead her to both the love of her life, Ian McKendrick, played by Niall, and the family she had always longed for, including Margaret Whitcomb, played by Wendy, and stepbrother Peter Whitcomb, played by Jim Thorburn. After her romantic engagement last Christmas, Miranda prepares for a Christmas wedding surrounded by this new family. While Miranda finalizes the details of her big day, Margaret forges a surprising romance with a friend from the past. Miranda's wedding plans are quickly complicated when a mysterious visitor who claims to have ties to her late parents reaches out to her just days before her wedding. As Miranda's wedding approaches, she must decide if she wants to spend one of the most momentous days of her life with this new family connection and must carefully navigate the first steps into the next chapter of her life with Ian. And here is a promo for Marrying Father Christmas.
Everything good in my life has come out of Christmas.
We have our girl back for another Christmas.
Third time's the charm. Nothing is going to spoil this for us, I promise.
You look absolutely breathtaking.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Aaron Krakow, Wendy Malick, and Niall Matter.
Together, there's absolutely nothing we can't do. You make me fearless with love.
Marrying Father Christmas, premiering this holiday season, part of the miracles of Christmas on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Oh, my. This movie, Hallmark has been hyping this for a little while now. And, what's not to love about Aaron Krakow, Niall Matter, and Wendy Malick? I mean, the three of them in the 2 previous movies have been absolutely wonderful. The storylines have been awesome. And so I expect no less from this movie. I'm so looking forward to this.
Well, I absolutely love when they do a continuation of a movie that, originally aired and that there are more sequels to it like this so we can get, more or less, with the marriage an absolute conclusion. But then again, there could be a 4th sequel to that,
You never know. I mean, hey, marriage and then babies, you never know what can happen from here.
That's right.
We'll see. I guess it depends on what the fans want after seeing the movie. But I'm like you. I do love a series of movies like about the same storyline that continues. Well, we have an exclusive clip up for you now with Aaron Krakow and Niall Matter behind the scenes of Marrying Father Christmas.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Niall Matter.
And I'm Aaron Krakow. Welcome to the set of our latest Christmas movie,
Marrying Father Christmas. We both did the same thing.
I am
so excited to be back for Father Christmas #3, marrying Father Christmas this time. It's been a special project to be a part of. We're filming the wedding today.
They're finally getting married, and it's perfect that they're getting married during the holidays at Christmas, because that's when they met.
How'd it go with your dress?
You'll just have to wait and see.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm Wendy Malick, and I am Margaret Whitcomb. In Carlton Heath, this is the equivalent of the royal wedding. Seriously. People are out of their minds around here. The fact that these two have finally been able to get it together, they could not be happier.
What do you think?
Oh, you look absolutely breathtaking.
The thing that, with Ian and this one, that kind of caught me off guard was how much trouble he has in writing his vows. When you came into my life, something changed. Things changed.
What you doing there?
Nothing.
Okay.
Now that I've settled into it, I'm like, okay, no, it's great that he's having a hard time because he just loves somebody so much he's not sure how to put that into words. And it has really grounded me as an actor. I'm able to... Hi.
Oh, I didn't even get you at all.
It's because I'm grounded as an actor. That's why.
We've had a really good time creating these movies. A really good time. Like, so many good times. A lot of laughter.
Last night we were laughing so hard that our cheeks hurt by the end of the night, and that's a wonderful way to spend a day.
She said she wanted a little more time to herself, but it's almost time.
I think we can give her another minute.
I'm so glad that people have loved getting to know this couple as much as they have. It's a great joy and a very fun celebration of love.
I love you with all of my heart, and I always will.
I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Thanks for joining us on set, everyone.
Whoa, that was a new difference.
Thanks. We know you're going to love Marrying Father Christmas this holiday season on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Sure to be another wedding of the year on Hallmark Channel for sure.
Yes, most definitely. And as I said, Hallmark, if you're listening, we would appreciate another sequel.
Yeah. Well, moving right along from that, we're going to kind of break from our movie reviews for a moment. And right now, we're going to be bringing you an exclusive interview that we had with Teryl Rothery recently, and it was such a joy speaking with her. You're going to enjoy the interview as much as Pam and I. We had a blast. Teryl is one of the finest people you'll ever meet, and we are just so honored. I still can't believe we had the chance to speak with her. It was just amazing.
You and me both. We've spoken to a lot of great actors and actresses and directors and everybody, but when it comes to Teryl, I mean, we've seen her in so many things that, you almost feel like you know her, but then when you chat with her, you find out some new things.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, we're gonna go ahead and air this for you now, and here is our wonderful interview with the lovely and talented Teryl Rothery.
I as well wanted to thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule and calling to speak with us today. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, what advice were you given when you first started acting that you have used throughout your career?
What advice? I think the biggest one would be you better grow a thick skin, because you're going to find that it's true. 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no. Get used to rejection, and then once in a while you get lucky, and that part is right for you. So, yeah, and not to take anything personally, because it's sometimes has nothing to do with you. Unfortunately, we're looking for a woman who's 5'8", or we're looking for, you know what I mean? It depends on what they're looking for, and not to don't get locked into that, and just know that your work, trust your work, and that's basically it. It's the whole thick skin thing. I'm still working on it, girls.
I was just going to ask you, how long did it take you? But
it's a work in progress. How's that? It's a work in progress. Oh my gosh.
Well, with the wealth of television series and movies you've been in already, I can see you writing your own series or movie, and just wondered, have you ever thought of writing?
Actually, I have. And it's always been something I've looked at because I'm just in awe, and I'll say that to all of the writers. I am in awe of how they can put paper to pen, or pen to paper, and it's such a joy to be able to breathe life into whatever it is that they've created for us to play. I love being part of the storytelling process, and I thought, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be nice if I could actually do that myself? And I have not attempted it yet, but what's interesting is I have already purchased different books on screenplay writing and all that sort of thing, and have different things, different ideas that I'm sort of thinking about, and we'll just go from there. And of course, it's finding the time too,
Exactly.
But it can be done. It can be done, and I just have to mind over matter and just sit down and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of acting and your career, you have many roles to your credit that you having portrayed numerous characters throughout your career. And what is one thing you strive to bring to each and every role, and what has been your most challenging role?
I would say to be authentic, to really sit in the skin of that character and bring her to life. And just making sure I'm doing the best that I can with what the writer has given. And also having, that freedom to add. That's what makes it so individual. It doesn't matter who plays the role, you're always going to get, even though one of my great heroes is Meryl Streep, you still know there's a little bit of Meryl in there because she brings that to that role, right? She has it's still in her. It's a bit of her, and then she expands on it. So it's just making sure I do that to keep being true to the word and being honest on screen and telling the story the way it's supposed to be told.
Yeah, and when we see you on screen, you are so true to form in that because you bring so much to every role you play, but it's amazing because there's still that little piece of Teryl in there that you just bring forth that it shows that you own the role, and you do a phenomenal job. So,
thank you so much. That's a huge compliment. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
as
and
far as the most
every role that you
role,
do.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I forgot there was a second part.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was trying to think what one was the most challenging. Oh my gosh, I don't know. They all have their own challenges in their own ways. I think there was a movie I did. Oh my gosh, what was the title of it now? I think it was called Video Voyeur, based on a true story. And anytime you're portraying a real person, I think that is, to me, personally, the most challenging. When you watch the greats portray, Churchill or Kennedy or any, you know what I'm saying? When I look at them, I'm always in awe because when the beauty and the magic of prosthetics, and it's true, you truly believe that is who they are. And that research is so intense because you want to do justice to the person that you're playing. So I would say that would be the most challenging.
I can truly understand that. I mean, I've watched a lot of those movies that have been based on true stories, and I think what even makes it harder for the actors is if it's a dark role.
My God!
Portraying a serial killer or something. It's just like, ew, you got to bring that home with you. Or that's a good question too. Is do you bring that home with you, or do you leave that stuff at the movie sets?
For me, when I was younger, starting out, there was a lot of times I would bring it home, and I wasn't even aware I was bringing it home. I was doing a play of all things, Shakespeare, Titus Andronicus, and I was playing the lead, and it's oh my gosh, all of his stuff is on the darker side, but it was a pretty dark play, and I would come home and I'd be just so down and miserable, and I just felt not right, and I thought, what is going on? And it's because I had to put myself in that place, night after night, and sometimes 2 shows a week, and it was hard. And I thought, okay, I've got to find a way to work around it. And It is challenging. I was thinking actually when we were chatting about this and portraying different things and what is personal to me is playing roles where there is loss and to do with children, anything like that. That is a hard one. And there was another one. I did the Amber story, Amber Alert, and it was how the Amber Alert came to be. And I remember the terror, like with my daughter being abducted, and just taking that on. At that time, I didn't have a child, and I'll tell you, things have changed immensely since I had my daughter. But even then, I was so affected by this. And in the story, the movie, I was blessed with the fact that I find my daughter alive and well, and sadly, the lead part of the story didn't. And that's how that all came to be, the Amber Alert. So that was a hard one. And even now, just to watch things when there are children involved, I just, it's like I can't let it go. It bothers me so much, you know? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just come home and I grab her and I just hug her and I say, "Oh, I love you." She's like, "Mom, what is wrong?" I said, "Oh, nothing."
Any movie that is realistic that you know can or has happened in real life, I have to steer clear of because it does affect me mentally and will stay with me for days. And so it is definitely hard to get past. You know. Well, to gears a little bit, Hallmark fans had the distinct privilege of seeing you on this season's Chesapeake Shores, and it was also a rare treat to see you and three of your esteemed colleagues sharing some of the same scenes together. And one of the things that's always amazed me about Hallmark is they seem to have cornered the market on bringing in legendary actors to appear in their movies and series. And do you attribute this to the mass appeal of fans and the enormous success Hallmark continues to have?
I do. And the stories that they bring, I was a Hallmark girl before I even became a Hallmark girl. I was, I was one of those ones you'd find me in the aisle at the Hallmark stores sobbing away with some card. And I love the happy endings. I absolutely love everything about it. And I am just so grateful to be a part of the Hallmark family because it is magical. Like every script is it's magical. It's just you get to transport to another place and and the scenery. Oh my goodness, the locations that they find. I mean, for 3 seasons we did Cedar Cove in such beauty, and I thought, oh my gosh, how are they ever going to top this beauty? And then you go over and shoot Chesapeake Shores, and I'm like, wow, look at this. Like it's just magical. That's the word that comes to mind all the time is magical. It was beautiful. And great casts, and they always seem to find great crews, where it's very family. You feel like a family, and you feel protected, and everybody likes to have fun, and everybody wants to do their best, and it's a happy place to be.
Yeah, it sure is, and it is a great escape from reality a lot of times.
Oh my gosh! Just turn on the news, right? You turn on the news,
right.
and it's like okay, it's like click, click, click. Let's go back to Hallmark.
Yeah. I know, right? Okay, we've had enough of this. Here we go, Hallmark. We're back.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's true.
Well, I know Dawn and I have spoken about that a lot. She's the type of person that won't watch true stories or watch the news or things like that are going on in the real world, and I do, and she's like, I don't know how you can do that. But I don't know, I just like to watch everything, and then once I watch the reality stuff, then I go into, the Hallmark movies and the series to escape what I just watched, but it's something that I have to do. It's so weird.
Yeah, it works.
Well, is there a type of role or a genre of movies or something that you'd like to play that you haven't yet?
I'm trying to think. I've played a lot of really fun and great roles. I do tend to love the comedies. I have to say that. I love the comedies.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's so many out there. I'm not done yet, and I would be thrilled to do any role. I'm trying to think. That was a good question because I've never really thought about that. For the longest time, people would say to me, because I was doing a lot of sci-fi, and they would say, what would you like to do? And I'd always say, oh, I'd love to do some comedy. I'd love to do some comedy. And I'm, it's romantic comedy, so I'm so grateful for that. And I love sci-fi. I love all of that stuff. Let's see. How about a detective? I wouldn't mind doing that. That would be fun.
Yep.
To go get the
That
bad
would be
guys.
great.
I'd love to do one of those. There we go. Hallmark, come on. Give Rothery a murder mystery. Mystery for Teryl.
Great in it too. You would be great in that. You doing that,
That would be
so,
fun.
Hallmark, if you're listening, that's next up for Teryl.
There you go.
Now, what has been the funniest or most memorable thing a fan has ever said to you when you've met them in person?
What have they said? Well, I remember being on stage doing a convention in the sci-fi world, the sci-fi genre. There's lots of various conventions, and you travel about and you have the honor of meeting the fans in person and signing autographs and doing all of that. And I don't know why this person said, "Excuse me, Miss Rothery, do you like broccoli?" And I remember, what the heck is broccoli? I said, well, yes, as a matter of fact, I like broccoli. I like it steamed. I like it boiled, fried. Yes. Do we need to expand on it? No, that was my only question. I went, oh, okay. Yeah, next, please. Yeah.
And the fans are still eating broccoli to this day.
Yeah, it's so funny. Gosh, yeah, exactly. They show up. There's no flowers. They bring me, bunches of broccoli.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
That's hilarious. Well, we know that very, very soon, Countdown to Christmas is going to start on Hallmark Channel, and we are so excited to see you on screen in Road to Christmas, and it's coming out on November 4th, and the early sneak peek of the film looks to be an incredibly endearing story. What about this movie appealed to you the most when you read through the script for the first time?
Oh, gosh. How about everything? I read the script. Yeah, seriously. It was like one of those ones I just picked up and went, this is amazing. I just fell in love with it from beginning to end. It made me laugh. It made me cry. And I just knew that I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The writer is absolutely brilliant. And I would work on anything that he wrote again. It was just, oh my gosh, it was just so much fun. It was just so much fun, and there's a lot of emotion in that. I was very, very attached to this role and to the boys. I have 3 adopted boys in the show, and I'm a single mom, widow. And I guess it's a widower, isn't it? It's a widow for a woman. Yeah, widower for a man. And I just love these boys to bits, and to finally have them all in one room for this particular Christmas just meant everything. And there was just so much to work off of. And working with Chad and with Jessy was just a treat. It was one of those things, you've got a really good thing when you walk in, you meet the director for the first time, you meet your castmates, and you're going to do a read-through of the script, and you're reading, around a table, and everything gels. Like everybody's timing was like bang on top of each other. Everybody's sort of take on the script was the same. The timing, the humor, the beats, it was all there, and you kind of felt like you knew these people already for a long time. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what this was like. I just loved being a part of it.
And that, just the little bit of preview that Pam and I saw, it really comes off and comes across that way on screen. So I think it's one of the things I'm looking forward to most about this movie, just because it looks a little different than some of the movies that you see on Hallmark. It's got a great happy ending, undoubtedly, but the story of that just seemed to be a little bit deeper and more I don't know, kind of tugging at your heartstrings just a little bit more.
Big time. Yeah. Big time. Yeah. Do you know the premise? Do you know the storyline?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I didn't know if you could give that away or not, but it looks to be a wonderful story.
Yeah, basically, it's in a nutshell. The storyline is that Maggie Baker, who works for me, is a television producer, and she ends up meeting and sort of, well, I won't give away too much, but does she or doesn't she like Danny Wise, who happens to be my eldest son? He also produced the my Christmas special a couple of years before, which was called the Julia Wise Lifestyle. So she goes about it trying to. She loves Julia. Julia and Maggie get along great. There's a lot of respect there, and this woman Maggie works so hard for sorry, that was my daughter coming in, and she has this plan to make Julia's Christmas to reunite Danny and the boys, the other two boys, during a live broadcast in Vermont. And then of course it's all the trials and tribulations of how and if she even gets that thing done. So I won't say much more than that, except it's worth it. Like, the journey is just, it's magical. I love it.
We got one more question, and this is a 5-question lightning round. It's all Christmas, and it's pretty generic, but it's a lot of fun. And so what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
Oh, gosh. I think for me, when I was growing up, my favorite Christmas tradition was we'd all sit around. Christmas Eve was like where everybody was always together. We'd always go and be together, and we had a ritual where my aunt would make her homemade Baileys, and we would have, I didn't really like it, but my grandmother loved it. Anything sweet and chocolatey and creamy she loved. So they would have the Baileys, and we would have a big sort of potluck kind of dinner, like just really something simple, and then we all got to open one present on Christmas Eve. So that was something I loved Christmas, of course, because Santa's paid a visit, so I was excited to see what Santa had to bring. But there was just something about that Christmas Eve. It was like a nice build-up, because you knew we'd all laugh, all the kids would get together and we'd play, and then it was time for bed, and then it was so exciting because you knew Santa was going to be here the next morning. So that's a big one, and I do that with my daughter. We don't do the Baileys thing, but we have that thing where we'll watch Christmas movies together, and we just have a fun time. And then she gets to pick one present, and then she opens that up on Christmas Eve, and it's a nice little build-up for Santa the next day. So that would be my favorite tradition. I love that. That was always my favorite. And then sometimes my uncle, who has a wacky sense of humor, no wonder I'm the way I am, he and his wife would do up all these things where they would look at different things that a person did throughout the year, the past year, right? And they'd be little gag gifts. And one year, it was a very unfortunate year for me, ladies. It was very unfortunate in that somehow I managed to get in 3 little minor fender benders. And it usually when I was merging, I'm going back. Okay, I'm going back. There's been many, many years where I've been fine, but merging seemed to be a little bit of a problem in my earlier driving days. And so my gag gift was a little hard helmet with a light on it that spun around like a police red light, and on it they had put the name Merging Martha.
Oh my God! Oh my gosh! That's hilarious. And they were all handmade. Like, they would literally, I think all year round, they'd wait to see what family member was doing what, and they couldn't wait to make something up to give them for their. So that's what we haven't done that in a while. I think we're going to have to start it again. But fun. It was so much fun, yeah. All right, what's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, gosh, so many, but Silent Night is the one that just kills me, especially with, oh, my gosh, now I've lost her. One of my favorites, oh, my gosh. I'll have to think about it. I'll get back to it at the end of the interview, but Silent Night. Mahalia Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Mahalia Jackson version of Silent Night. And it doesn't matter what rendition. I can be, Christmas shopping and going up an escalator and the Christmas music is playing in the background. If Silent Night comes on, God help you if you're standing beside me on the elevator, because I just start crying. Can't stop. But I would have to say Silent Night. But all of them, that's definitely in the Christmas song and the Drummer Boy. I could just keep listing them off. I love them.
Oh, yeah. So many good ones. Too many to name. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, again, it would have to be a couple of them. For sure, It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm going back to what I would watch all the time when I was growing up. It's a Wonderful Life, and I still watch it. And White Christmas, because I grew up from a dance background, musical theater background, so that was just my favorite with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye. And I loved it. So those two definitely are my favorites. But you also can't have Christmas without Scrooge.
Yeah.
You gotta watch Scrooge, you know what I mean? And nowadays I've got, my 10-year-old where she'll watch it even in the summer. We have to watch The Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
Every year. Oh, numerous times The Grinch is on for us, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
all right.
Grinch.
Next question: hot toddy or hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate.
Oh yeah. And last but not least, white lights or colored lights?
White lights. I like white around the house, but my tree has colored lights. I sort of go back and forth. One year it'll be all white, and then sometimes it's colored. There's something to be said about the colored, because that goes back to, again, growing up, right? No, everybody has the colored lights. So there's something about the traditional red and green, but then there's something about the beauty of the simplicity of the white. So, yeah, it depends on my mood, whatever is happening that particular Christmas when I'm setting up the tree.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. That completes our 5-question lightning round. Thank you for playing that. Yeah, and
thank you.
And we also
it wasn't very lightning, though, was it? I was taking my time with it.
It's okay. Sorry. There are no wrong answers, and there's no time limit. So on that. So it's an impromptu 5-question lightning round, I guess. Well, Teryl, thank you so very much for being our special guest today. We've just been so excited to talk with you and chat with you about your upcoming Hallmark movie, Road to Christmas, which airs November 4th on Hallmark Channel. So we are, it's not going to be long now, so we are excited to see you in that and everything else that you're doing on Hallmark.
Because it's part of the Christmas countdown, so you don't want to miss out on any of them. You're in for an amazing Christmas. You're going to get your Christmas fill of Hallmark, that's for sure, with some great cast and great scripts for sure. Great stories.
I think they've absolutely outdone themselves this year for sure.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. I can't wait if they're doing it this year. Can you imagine what we're going to get next year? I love it.
That's so true. You can only go up from here, right? So, but thank you again. We're just so appreciative of your time and taking the time to speak with us. It has been a real pleasure.
Well, thank you. It's been my pleasure. Anytime, you two. I would love to chat with you again. Anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. We would love to have you back anytime as well.
Hi, this is Teryl Rothery, and you're listening to Pam and Dawn.
Yes, you are, and we are back. And many, many, many thanks to Teryl Rothery for her time, and it was such a delight to speak with her. So much fun. Pam, I felt like the whole time we were chatting with her that we were sitting, having coffee and just talking as friends. Did you get that impression too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. She's very laid back and very human like the rest of us, So, it was very easy to speak with her, and I just adore her.
Yeah, me too. And such a funny lady. As you could tell, the listeners could tell, we were laughing throughout, and she was, she is just amazing as a person. And again, with as busy schedule as she has right now with all the filming she's doing all over the place, it was an honor to speak with her. So, again, we thank you, Teryl. Well, we're going to move right along into our next movie, and we've covered all of the Hallmark Channel and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries movies that are coming up in the coming week. And now we're going to move to Up TV. They have their first movie that will be premiering for this holiday season. It's called The Christmas Switch, and it premieres Sunday, November 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. It stars Jackie Seaton, Ashley Wood, and Anna Gregory. And the story goes, Christmas works its magic in this body-switching holiday tale about two very different moms who find that help is where you least expect it and most need it. When struggling singer Audrey and wealthy records executive Julia collide at the mall, they wake up in each other's lives the next morning. Audrey finds that though Julia's life is full of luxury, she's missing the chance to connect with her family in any real way that Julia finds that though she gets plenty of family time, Audrey can't say no to anyone, giving her no time for herself. As Christmas looms closer, the two women rush to figure out how to both help each other and switch back before they miss Christmas morning with their own families. So this plot, Pam, is very reminiscent of maybe Freaky Friday with the Christmas twist.
Exactly.
Maybe?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a cute movie to see this done up Christmas style. But that's the first thing that popped in my head when I was kind of going through the preview for it. It made me I thought, oh, okay, I see where this is headed. But I think it's going to be a great movie nonetheless.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of different types of movies like Freaky Friday, where they switch, and there's another one, and I can't think of it, but it was two brothers, I want to say, it was a brother and a father, and I can see his face. The guy from Friends that played Chandler, I want to say he was the one in the movie.
I can't think of what it is either. I remember it, but I can't place it. So yeah, but I think it's going to be a cute movie, and that is the first movie that Up TV is premiering as an original movie for this holiday season. Again, it's The Christmas Switch, and it airs Sunday, November 4th at 7 p.m. East, 6 Central.
At Up TV, nobody celebrates Christmas like we do. It's Christmas. Our holiday movie premieres and your favorite shows uplift you all season long.
Try our peppermint cornbread. Sounds gross, but freshens your breath.
And
it's my favorite time of the year.
Gilmore the Merrier returns, hosted by Scott Patterson.
It's no big deal.
Beginning Thursday, November 1st.
Merry Christmas!
Watch together on Up TV for the most uplifting Christmas ever.
Oh, my gosh. Next movie I am super excited for as well. And this is a theater release. And that would be The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. And it's in the theaters November 2nd. It stars Keira Knightley, Morgan Freeman. Hello, God. Sorry, got to throw that in there. Helen Mirren and Mackenzie Foy. And the story goes, all Clara, played by Mackenzie Foy, wants is a key, a one-of-a-kind key that will unlock a box that holds a priceless gift, a golden thread presented to her at Godfather Drosselmeyer's, that's a mouthful, played by Morgan Freeman, annual holiday party, leads her to the coveted key, which promptly disappears into a strange and mysterious parallel world. It's there that Clara encounters a soldier named Philip, played by Jaden Fawara Knight, and I hope I said that name correctly as well, a gang of mice and the regents who preside over three realms, land of snowflakes, land of flowers, and land of sweets. Clara and Philip must brave the ominous fourth realm, home to the tyrant mother Ginger, played by Helen Mirren, to retrieve Clara's key and hopefully return harmony to the unstable world. Starring Keira Knightley as the Sugar Plum Fairy, Disney's new holiday feature film, The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, is directed by, help me with this, Dawn, is it Lass Lassie?
I do not know. I'm just going to say Lass. Let's just keep it one syllable.
Okay. Just so if you're wondering, it's Lasse, Hallstrom, and Joe Johnston, and inspired by E.T.A. Hoffman's classic tale. And now for the trailer.
Merry Christmas, Clara.
Godfather.
Your gift this year will be something you'll never forget. Most people don't realize there are troubled realms within our world. And you hold the key to their secrets. Remember, Clara, nothing is as it seems.
Where am I?
You're in the Four Realms, Princess Clara.
Princess.
At your service, Your Majesty.
Maybe I have been spending too much time in the attic. Welcome to our world. The land of snowflakes. The land of flowers. And the land of sweets. But in the fourth realm, this is where our troubles began. Mother Ginger started this war.
Don't you know it's dangerous here?
I hope you'll be the one to finish it.
It's time to save the kingdom.
Just the laws of physics.
Do those laws always work?
As far as I know.
Ready.
Gathering her forces.
You're the only one who can stop her.
Hang on.
I've been expecting you.
It's time.
Ooh, is it Friday, November 2nd yet? I'm telling you what, that is going to be an awesome movie. And I have to say, admittedly, I have never been a huge fan of the Nutcracker. I've just never been, ballet oriented and traditional Nutcracker ballets that you would go see. I've just never had that much of an interest, but this movie is a game changer. I think going to see it will make me want to go see the Nutcracker Ballet, moving forward. But oh my gosh, what a stellar cast they have in this movie.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I need to see this movie. And I'm like you. I've never been to the Nutcracker Ballet, and I know that, families make that part of their tradition for the holidays is to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen it. But, yeah, I think that might turn me around.
I think so, too. You and I are on the same page with that. But this movie will be a box office hit during the holidays. I really see that. I mean, you can't go wrong with this cast. And Morgan Freeman, when I saw he was going to be in it, and every time you think of Morgan Freeman, you always hear that iconic voice. So I knew what he would lend to it, and then seeing the trailer, it was like, oh my gosh, yes, he is perfect for that role. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out on screen, as only Disney can bring it to you. So we look forward to that for sure.
Definitely.
Hi, this is Teryl Rothery, and you're listening to Pam and Dawn.
Well, up for you now, we have got a review of the first Netflix movie that is going to be releasing on Friday, November 2nd, and it's called The Holiday Calendar, and it stars Kat Graham, Quincy Brown, and Ethan Peck. And the story goes, in the holiday calendar, a photographer inherits an antique Advent calendar, which predicts the future. Will this magical calendar lead her to love this holiday season? Netflix asked. Here's betting. The answer is yes. So this, I think, is going to be a really cute movie. I'm really excited about not only this movie that Netflix is putting out this year, but they've got several new offerings for the holiday season. And I'm really excited to see them getting in the Christmas movie game. So
am I, and I say if there's a sequel to this movie, I think they need an advent calendar with cheese.
There you go. I mean, they probably filmed this before it was made known that there was going to be an advent calendar with cheese. But
right.
but nonetheless, that could be, yes, I think that's a great idea for next year, the sequel, or, the holiday calendar to Advent cheese style. So anyway, we'll start pitching that to Netflix in the very short time to come. Well, in the essence of time, we're going to move on, and this week, as every week, we try to find online on Twitter 3 of our favorite tweets from the week from your favorite Hallmark Channel stars, and it's called Trolling for Tweets. And we look high and low for what we think are the best of the best from the week. And so the 3 tweets this week come from Lori Loughlin, Danica McKellar, and Brittany Bristow. And Lori put out a tweet recently. It's 7:30 p.m., and I'm already in my PJs, ready to go to sleep. Can anyone relate? #long work week. Have you ever had your PJs on at 7:30, Pam?
Well, I don't know if I would necessarily say I have my PJs on at 7:30, but, the shoes come off and, you untighten things so you can relax.
Yeah, you put on your lounging clothes. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Maybe not necessarily PJs, but, some people do, and especially if you've worked hard all day and you come in and you just want to get out of those dress clothes, work clothes, and just get comfortable, and then sometimes you're so exhausted that heading to bed by 7:30 is a dream. And for these actors in particular, that has to be a welcome thing, because they don't do that very often with the schedules that they keep. So, but I thought that was pretty interesting, because it showed, Lori's humanness, that she likes to do that too. But if you are not currently following Lori, you can find her on Twitter at Lori Loughlin, and that's LOUGHLIN, Lori Loughlin. Also, from Danica McKellar over the past week, she posted a little behind-the-scenes sneak peek, the making of a movie poster. Next, they'll add a Christmas background and fix things like my safety pins from my sweater. Ha! See me, Brendan Elliott, and Real Dan Loria in Christmas at Grand Valley, Wednesday, November 21st at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central on Hallmark Channel. And she had posted this on Instagram, I think, initially. And what it was a behind-the-scenes shot of them, being photographed for the movie poster for the Christmas at Grand Valley, Hallmark poster. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But it was so funny how she posted, they'll have to fix things like safety pins from my sweater, to kind of hide that and all. And these are like little behind-the-scenes details that you don't get anywhere else unless you're following these folks on Twitter. But you can find her at Danica McKellar on Twitter. And last, our last tweet comes from Brittany Bristow. Now, she has starred in a ton of Hallmark movies, especially in the last couple of years. Most recently over the summer, where she starred in Love on Safari with Lacey Chabert. And she tweeted this. She said, "Getting more and more pale here in Bucharest. My flight to Iceland was booked today. So don't count on this girl getting a tan. From one film to the next, someone pinch me. I'm dreaming." And then she has from #Christmas at the Palace to #Shadowtown. And I was thinking to myself, wow, what a worldly traveler. I mean, they filmed Love on Safari on location in South Africa. She is in Bucharest, I guess, filming Shadowtown, and was in Iceland filming Christmas at the Palace. So, suffice it to say, to be a Hallmark actor or actress, and you get to travel the world the way these folks do, they live such charmed lives. And vicariously, I want to live through them, I guess I do when I watch the movies. But, wow, that was pretty amazing tweet. And you can also find her on Twitter at Bristow, and it's BRISTOW. And those are our Trolling for Tweets for this week. Now, we've got one thing to mention that's new and noteworthy, and that is, you may have seen Candace Cameron Bure has a brand new book out just in time for holiday gift giving, and it is a children's book. It's called Candace Center Stage, and it comes from her, New York Times. She's also a New York Times best-selling author, not to mention an awesome actress. And she's also starred the hit TV series Full House and Fuller House. And the story is about a little girl who loves to dance, but when her mother signs her up for ballet lessons, Candace quickly realizes she's no ballerina. As she moves and grooves across the floor, she topples all the ballerinas in her path. Her teacher, Miss Grace, tries to teach her proper ballet positions, but Candace is more interested in shakes and shimmies than in pliés and pas de bourrées. I hope I didn't butcher that. On show night, Candace's tutu is tailored, and her bun is beautiful, but her tummy is a rumbly mess. When disaster strikes on stage, Candace steps up and saves the day by doing what she does best, being Candace. This adorable book sparkles and shines with a cover that includes embossing and glitter. And so for all the little girls that are dancers out there, this would be an excellent book for a great Christmas gift. And we will have this up on our website, Christmas MuVies Spotlight, and we have an Actors Products page, and you can go and check that out. And we'll keep adding to that as we learn, who has what coming out. But that's brand new from Candace. She's on a book tour right now, too. So that is going to wrap it up for New and Noteworthy for this week. And so did you have anything to add to that, Pam?
Well, I think it sounds adorable. I mean, I don't think this is just for children. I would love to read this. When I was younger, I was in tap and ballet and baton and modern dance and all that stuff. So I was not a Candace. I did not topple over all the other ballerinas in her path, but I have seen others that could be kind of a Candace. So let's put it that way.
Yeah, I know. I think we've all had a few Candaces in our life. And I was never a dancer growing up, so I probably would have been the one that would have toppled over everyone, including myself. Well, before we wrap up our show, we got a couple of announcements we want to share with you. We, as you know, last week we brought, for our premiere show, we had a wonderful interview with Ruth Hill, who she is the founder of the My Devotional Thoughts blog. She's also a freelance writer, and she is the go-to person on all things Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. And she has, interviewed so many of the actors and had the chance to travel to a lot of the reunion events that Hallmark has. And so we have her interview on demand. We also had an awesome interview from Carrie McNeil, who is the founder of I've Seen It on Hallmark blog, where she goes out on location and visits all of the different places that you see in the Hallmark movies. And so we have both of those interviews up on demand and over on Blog Talk Radio at Take Two, and Pam can tell you more about it than I can. But it is a wonderful place anytime you want to access those interviews or any of our shows. That is the go-to place for it, as well as a variety of other places online that the show is at. And also, you want to go over to our website and you want to check it regularly, because we're always changing the content, updating, and trying to keep you as informed as we get information. And we have got a shop page over there that we are so excited about. We are adding to it as we go, but we have books, we have movies, we've got everything linked to all your favorite Hallmark movies, books, and movies from your other favorite channels, Lifetime, Netflix, you name it, that are available for sale or to view online. So get on over there, check it out, ChristmasMoviesSpotlight.com. Just click on the shop tab page, and you'll be redirected there. And that is all I have. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, Take Two Radio is with the number 2, and it's on blogtalkradio.com. If you just search for Take Two Radio, it'll come up, or you can put in blogtalkradio.com/Take Two Radio Network, and it'll come up with all the different shows and interviews that we've done.
And we are just so excited about this season of our show. In case you haven't noticed, we've got some great things planned and some great guests lined up, and you don't want to miss a second. And we're here every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and we hope that you will come back and join us again. And hey, if you like us and you like the show, please tell everyone you know about it, and follow us on social media. We're going to give out those links in just a few moments. And share our page, share our site, and let folks know about us. We'd love to have everybody come and join us each and every week. We're so glad to have you here. Well, Pam, I guess that does it for another week. That's a wrap, huh?
Yep, that's a wrap. I want to thank everybody for listening, and again, a big shout-out to Hallmark, who gives us the opportunity to play their special previews of the movies as well as their on-location little videos that Dawn captures, so we can play them for you. Where did that come from, John?
Who knows? Who knows? As my grandma would say, somebody named John must be talking about you. But nonetheless, we're so we're so appreciative to Hallmark for all that they do to pull the fans together and create such a wonderful network. Crown Media is just, they've done an outstanding job with everything across the board between their movies, their publishing company, you name it, and they appeal to listeners from all walks of life. So we are just so happy to have a small part of that and to be bringing this to you, and we are very excited for what's to come. So you definitely want to stay tuned because we've got bigger and better things to reveal as time goes on, and we'll talk a little bit about that as the season gets towards the end. But for now, we are going to sign off. And, again, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you back here next week, same time, same place. And, Pam, thank you again. It has been an honor being on air with you again this week.
Thank you. When do I get my award? No, I'm just kidding. I want to make this perfectly clear. This is a joke between us, and I am honored to work. I am honored to work with Dawn and to be her friend.
Oh, you're so sweet. And I didn't even pay her to say that, guys. Isn't that great? Well, anyway, we're going to say good night now. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you right back here. Pam.
Good night. Hey, guys, don't leave us yet. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Christmas Movies. That's XMASMUVIES. And also like our Facebook page at Christmas MuVies Spotlight. Don't forget, that's spelled MUVIES. And follow us on Instagram at Christmas MuVies Spotlight.
And don't forget to check out our website, ChristmasMoviesSpotlight.com. That's movies with MUVIES. ChristmasMoviesSpotlight.com.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.